Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a bright, sunny day in Las Vegas, Nevada. A quick shout-out to everybody on the East Coast that is drowning in anywhere from about 1.5 feet to 3 feet of snow, Mr. Cash. And we here today in Las Vegas, the last time I looked at my phone, we were about 56 degrees and sunny.
Not bad.
And I went out about 2 hours ago with no jacket on.
Not bad at all.
So would you take anything to go back to the snow?
I would never go back to the snow.
So we want to give a shout-out to everybody back east dealing with all that. My sister and triplets and my nieces, they're all having fun. Snow shoveling. My sister's down. She hurt her back from all the shoveling over the weekend.
Wow.
So shout out to my sister and everybody back east. Be safe, be careful, and before you know it, you'll be all melted away. Thank you for listening to Stars on VANR. 702-483-4444 is our number. Lawrence is on the board. JPEG is on the camera. And you, the listener, today's show, Mr. Cash, as always, is always about highlighting and spotlighting our talent here at Vegas Whole Net Radio. And today...
It's not us.
It's not us. That's very true. That's why we do the questioning, not the answering. Our guests today are actually debuting and premiering next week.
Yes, I know.
So we're kind of putting the cart before the horse.
We've done this before.
A few times, just because the calendar's kind of worked out that way. But we wanted to.
And it's because they paid on time.
And they paid on time, yes, of course.
I paid you? I paid you?
The check's already cleared. We're good.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you're on now. Debuting next Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. is a new show called Soul Chat with Laini Risto and Wayne Hilterbran.
That's good.
There you go.
See, you knew that.
I did.
Yeah.
I just had to get it down in my head. That's all. They're joining us today. We get them in the spotlight, so they'll share a little bit about themselves, what they do, how they've gotten to where they are, their show, their background, or do we have to do a background check on them, blood prints, or food, whatever, all that sort of stuff. And we gotta go. Wayne's out of here.
Wait a minute, I'm right behind him.
Laini, looks like this is you and I, kiddo.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So again, our phone number, if you have questions for them as we go through the 702-483-4444. If you want to Skype us, you can Skype us at Vegas Whole Net Radio as well. Lawrence will fire up Skype if you want to Skype in. If not, that's cool. If you catch this on podcast or live on YouTube, as we are video recording as always, you can always send emails to Laini at
info@shamanicsong.com.
Spell that.
It's the whole thing, or
well, not just the
info
after the
is
ampersand,
info
yes.
at SHAMANICSONG.com.
There you go. And we'll get into what all that is. So welcome to Stars of VANR and welcome to Vegas Whole Net Radio in general.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're excited to have you.
I'm excited.
Now,
It's been a while.
you though naturally are a performer, as we learned when we first met. You've been on stage, you sing, and do you still do any of that?
I haven't done as much singing lately in the way I used to. The standard joke is if I sing crazy one more time, I'll go there. Okay, yeah, I've been.
Doesn't Adele sing crazy all the time, too?
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
And she sings
she's
that.
already there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you, Adele.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. A good friend of ours is Paige Poole. He's the best Elvis tribute artist in town, but his wife is also a tremendous performer. And
you're talking about John Lundquist, aren't you?
No.
Oh,
not
well, I
John,
just put a play
not
out
John.
to him.
That's okay. We love John, too.
Yeah.
Paige Poole. Does Elvis, the best tribute artist. But his wife, Adele, is also a tremendous singer and doesn't get as many opportunities as he does. But when she does, she's a great performer as well. Absolutely.
I thought he was talking about Adele in London. I thought you guys
No,
get
not
around.
that. No, we're not that good.
Oh, okay.
We just met the Australian Bee Gees. We're working our way across the continent over there. So, but anyway, so how long have you been performing? When did you decide to kind of put that on have you kind of put it on the back burner?
It's been on the back burner for about the last 3-4 years.
Okay.
And, but I actually started singing when I was 5.
And how'd you get into that?
Well,
Why?
They locked her in the bathroom.
That's right. Help me.
How did you know? I thought I was by myself. Okay. No, I was actually raised in a music family. My parents had a swing band.
Oh, really?
And so I kind of grew up naturally. There was 2 things that brought music to me. And one of them is besides Mom and Dad having a swing band, my dad was a drummer and my mom was a piano player. And they met in 1934 and married in 1942.
Wow.
So they played until they were, I think my dad died, they would have had their 65th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
They were
wow.
still playing.
God bless.
Yeah, so I grew up with all that old music in my head, and they used to play swing and and what country, when it was country,
Right.
you know. Yeah, Western country. And I grew up with all of that. But I also had a sister that had cerebral palsy,
Oh, wow,
severest
okay.
form you could have.
Wow.
So one of my jobs when I could handle it, was old enough to handle it, was to make sure that the record player and the LPs, remember the LPs, you'd stack, and
stack
the
'em up.
arm would come
Right.
over and drop down. I had to keep those
Cash
records.
used to have to rotate his. You know,
Yeah.
he had the handle on it. So.
Well, he probably remembers 78s, right?
Sure do.
Yes, he does.
So I broke a few of those.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Much to my parents' dismay. You know, as a kid, you drop it on the floor, it broke. I mean, it was not made of the best vinyl at the time.
It wasn't vinyl. What
Of course
was it made
wasn't.
of?
I don't know. I think it.
That question's been
Believe-
kicking around a lot
Believe
lately.
it or not, I really believe it was an oil-based material.
Something that would shatter.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I shattered my share.
So I used to keep the record player loaded because my sister, all she could do is sit and listen. She couldn't talk. She couldn't communicate really well, you know. And so I was in a house where everybody was playing, and my first voice teachers were Patsy Cline and Frank Sinatra and Patti
wow.
Page and Rosie Clooney, and
Wow.
all of that stuck in my head
Right.
still to this day.
Right.
you know.
Wow. So if someone called you today, could you pick up a microphone and go perform on the stage somewhere for
Don't
an hour and a
ask her.
half?
Don't ask her. Don't ask her.
Don't ask her.
Why did I bring him? Yeah. No, yeah.
You
Yeah,
could.
still do. Yeah,
Cool.
I could. Yeah, and then I just fell into it, and for many years I was singing. I was in the Portland, Oregon area. I was
Okay.
raised in a little town called Battleground, Washington,
Okay.
which is actually a Portland metropolitan area. And I used to sing. I had a band. I had a trio. I'd sing with big bands. I'd sing on. They had a cruise boat that went up and down the Columbia River. I used to sing on that with the big band. And then I got a divorce.
Aha.
Dun, 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 you know. And
Maybe she needs to go to the Unstuck conference.
and then I couldn't handle my emotions, let alone the emotions of 3 other band people.
Okay.
Anybody that's been in a band knows that it's the personalities and their partners you have to deal with.
Right. Right.
So that broke up, and then I had been on tour actually at that time in California, playing the fair circuit, the big fairs, the Orange County Fair, Ventura Fair, Big Fresno Fair.
Okay.
And it was easier for me to get to them from here. It was only a 1-day drive, and instead of a two-day drive down
Okay.
through Oregon and Washington. So I moved to Vegas. I bought a house in 2 days, sight unseen. I'm still living in it.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2003.
Oh, okay. Relatively
so,
recent by most standards.
Yep. And until 2007, I was keeping the road hot up and down California, doing the fairs. And when I got a divorce, I started singing Patsy Cline, More Than Just Crazy. All of those old, broken-hearted, he done me wrong songs, you know.
I
Let
fall
me tell
to
you.
pieces.
You what?
I fall to pieces.
I fall to pieces.
was
Yeah.
one of Patsy's songs.
Yeah. That was there. I got them all. Sweet Dreams, all of them. You know.
Now, was that by choice, or is that just kind of where your emotion took you?
Well, it was a marriage.
Gotcha.
Actually, it was a marriage coming out of a
Okay.
divorce. You know.
Okay.
I got to tell you, when you're trying, and it was a 27-year marriage I was coming out of, and dealing with all that emotion, if you start singing Patsy Cline songs, you either get bitter in a hurry or you start taking drugs. I mean, you know, it's just, so I got better. But what happened is I would start singing them, and I just sing the song.
Right.
I don't try to imitate her at all.
Right. Right.
And it would never fail. I would do 4 half-hour sets a day, and I could sing crazy at the front end, and sure as heck, the crowd's rotating, and they'd come in at the end, they go, sing crazy, and, you know, I couldn't get away from it. You know? So,
That's when you record it and play it back and just lip sync it.
yeah, I got a
Everybody
CD.
does that today.
I did. My version of Sweet Dreams was #1 in Spain in 2006. And I'm
Wow.
going, who would have thought? You know,
The English version?
the English,
The English
version.
version. Okay.
Could you
Why
get a
not?
little more, you know? Yeah. So it was music till then, and then I broke my ankle I broke my leg, ankle, whatever you want to call it, really severely in 2007.
Okay.
That was a course correction.
You kicked him that hard.
I did. I
Nice.
did. Yeah. In fact, I had just broken up with my last relationship, and I was talking to a friend of mine on the radio or on the phone, and he said, a music friend, and he said, "So what are you going to do now?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to step into music like I haven't ever stepped into it. I'll go to Nashville. I'll do all of this stuff." And 2 hours later, I stepped off of 2 steps dislocated my ankle, fell on top of it to make sure I would break it.
Absolutely. If you're going to do it, you got to do
Both
it right.
bones sticking out of my legs, on a white
Jeez.
carpet. That was fun too, But it was a course correction.
Yikes.
I do remember the fireman though that came to the house, and I got to go to the ambulance to the hospital. But that took me out for about 18 months, which
Wow.
brought me out in 2008. Remember 2008?
The crash.
Yep, and all the contracts I had were gone
Wow.
because business was cutting. I was
Sure.
on sponsorships,
Sure.
and they were all cutting it. So I ended up.
When did radio come into your life? When did you start doing radio?
Oh, I've been doing radio. I used to sell jingles for radio when I was trying to keep my sanity raising 3 kids.
Right.
Yeah.
We knew the gal that did the Meow Mix.
Do you?
Yeah,
Linda November.
Linda November.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
In fact, my voiceover coach was the voice of Cadillac for 9 years.
Oh, okay.
So I started doing some voiceover, and I started doing radio jingles, and I sold toys, and I was telling Wayne this morning, I sold sewing machines to Chinese people that couldn't speak English, That's
Well, why
a
not?
trick.
Your
That's an
record-
art.
Your English music was good in Spain. Why should
That's
it be any
right. Why
different?
not?
I
Give it
know
a
how
shot,
she. I know how she did that.
How's that?
Yeah.
Stitchy,
yeah.
stitchy, stitchy.
Great.
Stitchy long time.
Great.
So that course correction led to me stepping into energy healing,
Okay.
energy work. I had always done it anyway because of my sister.
Okay.
My parents would, as all parents who dearly love their children, when there's an issue, they will do whatever they can. So
Sure.
when the medical community couldn't do any more for her, when the chiropractic community couldn't do any more, they started taking her to faith healers and anything that would help her relax. Because she had to be, my dad had to lift her. She was in a wheelchair all day long. It was
Sure.
a difficult
Sure.
situation. And so I grew up under a massage table, basically.
Okay.
And I thought it was normal. I thought
Yeah.
everybody did.
Now you said the healing. Is that something that you already had inside of you? Is
Yes.
that something you had to go to school to?
No.
School for? Talk about that. How that ability came to fruition.
Well, I always was very intuitive, and I thought everybody was. And I used to think that it was inside of everybody, and they could see and hear and sense things like I could,
Mm-hmm.
And then I would get in trouble in school because I had a teacher one time. It was the 6th grade. I can still see her. She was standing there, and she said, "What is the important thing that happened in Jacksonville, Oregon?" In blah, 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 blah. I went, I knew. I was so excited. I finally had the right answer. And I, waving my arm, and I jumped up and I said, "Susie Jessel, a faith healer, lives in Jacksonville, Oregon." And the room the air
Got
just
quiet.
went,
Yes. The air went out of the room.
Yeah, yeah. And so, no, the answer was they discovered gold in Oregon. And
Oh,
then,
well, there you go.
Had a little more weight with everybody.
That's right.
So I learned really quickly from that point on to kind of keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
Just
Gotcha.
don't, because kids, you know how kids are.
Yeah.
It's worse now. I can't imagine raising
Oh.
kids now.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I always kind of did, and people would come and say, "Oh, my shoulder hurts. Could you put my hands on my shoulder?" And I always did that. And then in my late 20s, I came out of a really deep depression, and for a lot of different reasons. And I took something called polarity healing and Swedish massage, and had my massage license for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then I did nothing. I didn't sing. I didn't do any kind of healing work, nothing.
You just were.
I just was, yeah. Because I was married to someone who didn't believe in any of that.
Gotcha.
And it was almost like I had to spend 10 years with it not happening to realize that's who I was. And so I got a divorce when I was 49.
Now, is that the one you were referring to before? Gotcha.
Yeah, I was married twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just twice.
That's like the old question.
Not-
That's like the
You're
old.
going to have enough fingers there, Rick.
That's right. Cash is beating you. Don't worry.
Oh,
about it.
okay,
So,
okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So, how many years in total have you been married now?
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning
Of time?
of time. Yes, of all of his marriages. So this is a question we used to ask when we used to be in timeshare.
Oh.
How many years you married? And then they would come back and say, "Well, you're talking the first, second, or third."
Just under 50.
Right? See, and then I would get the smart ones that would just
48
add up all the
years.
years instead.
Yeah, 48 total.
48 years total, huh?
Yeah.
3 divided by 3, it's an average of about 15 per.
Well, every 15, I trade them in for a younger one.
Okay, on that note, we'll learn about Wayne on the other
okay.
side of the break.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to step aside for our first break. You're listening to Stars of VANR, the hosts of Soul Chat, debuting next Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right before the new time slot for Vegas Unwrapped. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back to Stars of VANR. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, Lawrence on the board. JPEG out of the studio, was behind the camera about 6 seconds ago. Wayne and Laini sitting in, the new hosts upcoming of the new show Soul Chat, debuting next Wednesday.
I like the way you did that.
Wayne first.
Wayne and Laini.
Yeah.
I only did that
Good
as a
job,
reminder
buddy.
that I got to now talk to you this segment. That's why. 4 to 5 p.m. Every Wednesday, right in front of Vegas on Rap, which will be moving to 5 o'clock. So we're looking forward to really 3 hours of what should be great radio.
Tantalizing.
Tantalizing.
There you go.
So
we can mess it up. It'll be good.
well, we mess it up all the time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're good
All right,
with
so
that.
3 hours of really screwed up radio time coming to Wednesdays with the capper. Yes. Anyway, so Wayne, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
How'd you get into this mess?
I just followed Laini.
You just followed Laini. I got
He
you.
paid his way on.
I'm just going with the flow.
Gotcha. Sometimes that's the safest thing to do. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from California.
Okay.
Yep.
How long you out here in Vegas?
19 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Just like us.
Yeah, we're full. You know, you're Veganites now.
Exactly.
Somebody said, "Where are you from?" Vegas.
That's right. When you can say Vegas and not Las Vegas,
Yeah.
you're here.
He's Vegas.
The other way you can determine when you become a local is when you start complaining about the out-of-state drivers.
Oh, I did that the day I
Right?
moved here.
Almost
I was one.
immediately. You know, my wife would yell, "Get out of my town!" I said, "You've been here 4 months. What are you talking about? Your town."
Which wife was that?
Third
Four.
one. Third
Okay.
one.
Yet to
That's
be
still here.
determined.
Yeah, I just
Still here.
So, Wayne, talk about your background. How did you get into where you're at
nowhere
now?
near like Laini's.
Okay,
No,
you don't sing and dance
yeah,
or anything?
No, there's no dancing.
Oh, he
There's- well, yeah, but
Sings,
not on
he
air.
tries.
Not on air. In the car.
Mine started with the it started from young, but you don't realize it.
Okay.
I mean, as I was growing up, I was always trying to find God, but never knew how.
Mm-hmm.
And it was join the Lutheran Church, become a vice president, go behind the scenes, realize that there's too much behind the scenes, get out of the church, and move forward. Then try something else, and it's when I divorced in 2002, a wife of 25 years, and then did a lot of searching. And then about 2004, the business took off. You know, I had another business, and it was delivering snack foods to the casinos. Took off, doing great. 2008 came along,
Boom.
and wow. Suddenly one of the casinos decided they needed to hold my money, and I couldn't do it. So long story short,
They didn't have enough of their own.
they didn't
They
have
wanted to
enough.
hold yours.
You want to work? Go to a casino and deliver to them. You're going to find out your pay is long coming.
Wow.
But 2008 started losing everything I had.
Okay.
2009 pretty well hit bottom. Then I started just looking around, see what life was about, and my daughter and her husband had bought a bar, so I went and bartended for the weekend. Still doing my chip stuff, but it was just me now, me and one little employee. Wasn't like the 12 we had before.
Sure.
So it had dropped.
Now,
so
you say chip stuff. Explain what.
potato chips.
Oh, potato chips.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
talking
snacks.
potato chips, snacks,
Okay.
jerky.
Just want to make sure no
chips,
one else got
crackers.
Not
lost.
poker chips.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. I have more ones. I got it. So, 2010, to the end of 2010, I went and started taking a yoga class. It
Okay.
was Tantra yoga. And I thought, ooh, Tantra yoga. We'll learn a little bit of love thing here. I'm going to be a powerhouse, you know. Little did I know that this was more about spirituality than
Okay.
it was about anything that I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
Move your energy. That's not what I was looking
That's
for.
not what I was looking at. That's not what I intended to move. But anyway.
So teacher was Eliana, and she would offer a free gift at the end of the class.
Okay.
You go up, and she puts her hands on your head, and I say, "What's the gift?" She says, "You'll see." This went on for 8 months,
Okay.
and every week I'd say, "I'm not feeling nothing. I'm not getting." So after 8 months of this yoga, I couldn't do the moves anymore. The body wouldn't function the way they were functioning.
It's because you're older.
Yep. I was just a little bit older then. So I went in and I started looking online, and I found a Reiki class.
Okay.
So I went to it, and it was their last meeting at this particular building. And then they were moving. I didn't know this. Showed up, loved it. Felt really good with it. Started going to the new one. A month later, I'm in a Reiki 1 class. In Reiki, you have to be in tuned, which means that you get some geometric symbols put inside of you, and they're tapped in by a Reiki master. It's the only way you can do it. So that happened. And then a month later, I'm doing Reiki 2.
Okay.
And now I'm starting to do some distance healings, and I have some assistance from spirits to help me, and seeing body parts, and it's like, where is this coming from? Little did I know that it all came from that gift that she originally was giving me.
Okay.
That things got opened. It then turned into taking Reiki Masters, so going through Reiki 3, Reiki Masters, and then I was doing just home distance healings. Distance healings when you can be at your house or you can be in New York in that cold weather, and I can bring you to here, your soul to here, and do the healing on you. So regardless of if you're having backaches or whatever you were having. So I did that because I was single now and not a lot of money. So I'm doing it every day a week, 7 days a week, about 3 a night. And then one night the body parts opened up and I got to see inside, and I knew what livers look like and kidneys look like, and things progressed. And then it just started going. One day I got remarried. I've been divorced since that time, but I
It was quick.
I got 2.
It was short.
Yeah, I had
You realize we got 6 divorces sitting in the studio right now, Lawrence.
You might have more than
Wait,
that.
I think you got 6 over here. So that 14 marriage, during the last couple months of that marriage, I got a message, and it's one message where I don't hear them go, Wayne, you're opening a center. I need to open a center.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to open a center. I never went back and got my Reiki Master's certificate because I could care less.
Right.
It was a page. So I said, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to open it by my house over here. It's going to be the northwest end.
Right by you, where
right
you
by
want
the
it.
house, right where I want it. So I opened it on the east side. I was out on a Sunday afternoon about 5 o'clock, and I'm looking through the windows of this industrial area that the lady had told me they had a few offices available over there. I'm looking at an older man walked up to me. I'm not saying nothing, but an older man walked up to me.
Yes.
And he said, are you interested? I'm like, oh yeah, I got the stuff. I just look into the window. He goes,
Right.
well, you want to look inside? I got a key. I'm like, perfect. So he took me into the unit I was looking at. I'm thinking, the bathroom's in the big room. I don't want that. So he goes, I'm going to go down here to unit 102 if you want to come and look at it. Walked in there, and it was just 2 offices and a little warehouse out back. I needed a small warehouse for the potato chips, and this was about half the building was that. So I said, this is perfect. He goes, well, you'll get it cheaper, because you're in the back corner here, and don't worry
Right.
about it. So I went to the
Negotiations.
office the next day, and I say to the lady, hey, one of your brokers showed me the 2 offices over there, and they look at me
And
like,
he says,
with
I don't have
cross-eyed-
any brokers.
That's exactly what they said. I have no brokers. I say, really? Well, I got to go in unit 104 and 102. She goes, we have nobody, Wayne, except us that shows you those buildings. So I said, okay, I'm taking 102. And it was $125 less a month than I was paying for
Right.
my unit I had in there on
Right.
the other side. So that turned out, and I'm thinking, okay, so I put 13 chairs. I went out about 13 beautiful purple chairs, put them around in a circle in this room, and said, this is it. If I can fill these, I'm going to be the cat's
I'm in.
meow. And if I don't, I got the best Reiki meditation room that anybody's ever known. So the grand opening, we had 26 people. Always great for grand opening. And then
Right.
we turned around and had an average of 8 people a week. And I'm thinking, this is great. And then it jumped from 8 to 15 overnight.
Wow.
And then the next week it was 15 to 20. And it stayed that way. Then it jumped to 23. And then about 25, 28, we were too big. It was 14 by 14 room.
Right.
28 spiritual people in there was more energy than you could handle anywhere.
Sure.
So then about that time, along come this one, Laini came along, and we started talking about her coming over there and doing her events there. And, we started bringing this shaman in. So we realized that this room was too small. So we put up,
Were you both single at the time?
we were.
We're still both single at
No,
that time.
I was just curious.
Thanks for asking, though.
No problem.
My phone number is. I'm an Aries, like
Just
long
look
weeks
on the
in park.
bathroom wall. You'll find his phone number.
So I was told to put up make a 20 by 20 room in the back. So I ended up purging all of my personal items that I've carried with me now since the divorce, from place to place. And I built a 20 by 20 room out there so we could hold about 45 comfortable. Mm-hmm. So we did that for a couple months, and she would have her things. We'd have 20 people, 25 people, 30 people in the Reiki circle, and then she would have her stuff, and we'd have 20. And then she had a moon ceremony, a full moon ceremony one
Blue
night.
moon.
The blue moon. 54 people showed up.
We had
Wow.
people sitting on
We were on
each other's
laps,
laps.
yeah,
and
we were-
floor.
Now, what is that? What is a blue moon?
There you go.
Oh, okay. So
I know what a full moon is.
that was
but
a
that's-
nice tee up.
You
You
want
did
me to
that
sing
really
it?
well. Yeah, yeah. No, don't sing it.
Okay.
Don't sing it. Don't sing it. He goes around doing that a lot.
Wait, you start singing Blue Moon?
Yeah, I sing it to her all
Hit
the
it,
time.
Ricky.
She goes, "Blue
I
moon."
know, so you got it in there anyway. Yeah. So I'm a shamanic healer. What's happened is I've evolved to being a shamanic healer, which is works with nature. And the form that I practice is way northern Scandinavian, and we honor the moon and the sun, and it was a very elemental kind of thing. So the blue moon happens every 2 years, and the current definition of a blue moon is when you have two full
Two
moons
full
in 1
months
month.
in the same month. I knew that.
That's
one.
right. The old way wasn't that way, but they made it convenient for marketing purposes, okay? It's easier to market it that
Wait,
way.
so are you remembering the old ways or the new ways?
new
I'm just
ways.
trying to get
The
clear.
new ways.
He's going to take the new ones every time.
He's
you
just
know?
trying to remember anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
All
yeah.
right, carry
Yeah.
on. Okay, go ahead.
So the ceremony is that we do, one of the things I teach in the healing circles is a shamanic journey, which takes them so people can journey to their own individual guides and teachers.
Okay.
And in doing that, you celebrate the moon, and you find you can ask once you're connected up, because it's a thing of direct revelation, you can ask your own spirit guides and animal guides and whatever to tell you things that you need to know. And then we honor the moon. Now it's evolved quite a bit. We just had one. When was that? That was just a couple days ago, wasn't it?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. And I've stepped into the Nordic practice of being a medium, seer.
Okay.
And what I do is I merge with the spirit of the moon, and people come up and ask questions. And this is what they did in the old Nordic tradition: is the whole town would shut down instead of a festival. The medium or seer was coming, and you get to ask questions about, should I plant this year? Are the crops going to be good? You know, in the old natural ways. And so that's kind of what happens now, but it's developing. I wanted to say that he talked about the escalation of the number of people. The average Reiki circle in town is about 9 or 10 people.
Okay.
So we managed to be pulling,
Yeah, we're in the 40 range now.
yeah, we're in the 40 range now.
Now, what's the name of the shop that you have?
Spiritus Reiki Center,
Okay.
This is my sponsor.
Go ahead.
4170 South Decatur Road, D11.
Yeah, so we have a healing events there, and
Cross Street.
Flamingo.
Okay.
Just south of Flamingo.
Gotcha.
Behind
Yeah.
the Blueberry Hill restaurant.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Know where that
centrally
is.
located.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
But that blue moon ceremony, when we had people sitting around and the door kept opening, and I'd look at Wayne and he'd look at me and he'd go, "Oh man, we need a bigger room." It only been bigger for 2
Right,
months, right?
yeah.
Isn't Marie Callender's there too?
it
it's
used to
Blue
be.
Moon- it's Blue Hill.
It's Blue Hill now.
They
Blueberry
changed
Yeah,
Hill.
on the corner
Yeah.
there. Used
Oh,
to, yeah,
wow.
it's been changed for a while.
Well, I haven't been in that
Yeah.
area in a long time.
So you're in the stores behind it?
Actually, in the center behind those stores.
Gotcha.
There's a complex back
Gotcha.
there.
I think
We're-
that cross street is Nevso,
Nevso,
something like that. It's a little
Nevso.
tiny
Nevso.
street.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're right off of that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
So after we blew out of that blue moon, we started talking about what are we going to do, because we can't
And it-
really afford to move.
And at that time, I was still kind of traveling the valley. After I came out of divorce and my ankle healed, and I
Right.
went deeper into the energy healing piece, because that's what I already knew, born with it, right? So I stepped into shamanic healing, and then I went and did some advanced training with an international teacher. So I teach advanced shamanic healing practices.
Okay.
And I was kind of traveling with my drums everywhere all over the valley, kind of building a reputation of this. Yeah, this lady that sings and has drums will come in and make
Wow.
you feel a lot better, is what it amounted to.
I'm
I'll
going to take
I'll
I have to take a pause.
Well,
at the
and
top
I
of
was
the
going to
hour.
say, when we come back from the break, I'm going to ask you about, say it again,
Shamanic
Shamanic.
healing.
I want to know what that means.
Okay.
All right?
Not like demonic.
I know about demonic.
Close, but not.
You're listening to Stars of VANR. We'll be back right after this.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
All right, Biggest and Raptors on the road again, moving. You know, we were at that time slot for nearly 3 years.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, when we first came over here, when it was still Lotus's.
But it wasn't, we weren't at 5.
No, I'm saying Thursday from 7 to 9. We've been
Right.
at that slot since we moved to the
Right.
station.
This is the first
3
time
years ago.
we're going to late afternoon.
Yes,
early
we were never
evening.
at 5 o'clock. Right?
No,
we were always
never.
either Wednesday or Thursday at 7.
Right.
Well, I
That's-
think, did we originally start like 8 to 10?
No.
Down on the Blue House? No?
No.
I thought
no,
we did.
No.
Okay.
We should have.
We should.
That would have made it even safer in that neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Bonneville and Maryland Parkway. Need we
boy.
say more? Anyway, welcome to Stars on VANR. You're listening to the hosts of the new show next Wednesday, debuting on the 3rd from 4 to 5 p.m. Laini and Wayne Soul Chat.
I got first that time.
Yes, back to you.
Back to you. So you had a question.
Yes,
before
I
we
want to
break.
know about shamanic.
Shamanic healing is the oldest form of spirituality known to humankind. When we were tribes living in caves and we lived in small communities, every community had a spiritual healer. That might also be the medicinal healer, that might also be the emotional healer, but the spiritual healer. And so it used the shaman. I don't call myself a shaman because I wasn't born into it. I was called to it later in life. But most people hear shaman and they think of Native American, but it was worldwide. So every tribe. My ancestry goes directly back to the Sami people, the reindeer people of Northern Europe. And the commonality is that we all use something, a chant, a drum, a rattle, or something, monotonous sound, to go into an altered state to make connection with the other side. So it dances on the edge of the strangeness.
Little outer limits there.
Little outer limits there, but what I do, let's say you come to me and you say, I'm really confused lately, and no matter what I do, I can't straighten it out.
She's like a psychic reader, huh?
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Hey, you just nailed
you
it.
got a time open every day for us?
So I would do
regular
it.
booking?
Yeah, I would do a journey on your behalf, go to my guides and teachers and say, I'm here on behalf of Ricky, and he's really confused, and he's tried everything, and he can't straighten it out. What do you suggest that we do? It's like going to a new library, and they'll give me something to tell you. Maybe a certain tea, maybe there's a certain healing ritual. Shamanism looks at illness. The component of illness is that there's some kind of soul loss, that something traumatic, physical, emotional, or spiritual has happened, and part of your soul separates from you. An essence separates from you, and when that happens, it's like part of you is missing. You want to put it in psychological terms, what was conscious goes unconscious, and it's not available for you to use anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
So it's very old, but it's making a big comeback because with all the screens that we have, all the electronics, all of everything that we look at outside ourselves, people are saying there's no meaning here. I don't have any meaning in my life anymore. What's happening? Why don't I feel lost? I don't feel like I have a connection. So shamanism is making a comeback because we use nature, which is the world we live in, and it also believes that there's spirit in everything you see, and we all share the same spirit. So
Now,
it's not a religion, it's a
Are you
spirituality.
always reading, or do you get a message first saying, here's the message? I mean, are you always reading? Are you always are you always feeling stuff? I mean, how does it work? How does it work for you? Has this been asked before?
No.
It's just it's always a question you want to know because you
Well, yeah.
you don't have no clue. It's just
Right.
sometimes it happens different ways.
Okay.
That's why what you ask is
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Because
Some people, Wayne is very visual.
Okay.
He's not a shamanic healer, although he's picking up things from it. He's a Reiki master.
Right.
And what happens for me is I sense things.
Okay.
People, there's different ways of sensing. There's clairvoyant, clairsentient, and clairaudient.
Okay.
I don't see much. He sees a lot. Sees moving pictures practically, right? But I sense things and I hear things. So there's the voices,
Okay.
The difference is that I control it. I don't need medication to control it, right? I say, no, I'm not taking anything today. I'm not listening
No
to
one's
anything.
home, not
Nobody's
taking a call.
home. The door's closed. It's 5 o'clock. I'm done.
That's right.
So it's a matter of being in balance at all times, doing your best to be in balance,
Okay.
and walking. Being a shamanic healer, they say it's walking the path. In
Gotcha.
fact, I'm teaching a 2-day workshop coming up at the end of the week for
Okay.
people who are interested. And it's a way of being in the world as opposed to doing things. There's no menu to read. Everything's different. It's very individual, which is why I like the work. And I get to use the music that I have because they're very closely tied.
Sure.
And I'm a Reiki master too, like he is, but a much older Reiki master than he is. I'll give him that one, He's really
Well, there's
a
no
master
age
in the-
requirement or expiration date, is there?
No,
Okay.
there is no certificate for this. This is
Gotcha.
the way the shamans of the world used to live.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the show a little bit. Coming
Okay.
up next Wednesday, 4
Next
o'clock.
Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Talk a little bit about what the show is going to be about in general and what our listeners can expect to hear from you guys.
Well, we talk about. He
Obviously,
never knows because he never knows.
I was
till-
going to say, obviously, Wayne's going to hear this for the first time.
Yeah,
here's how it is when we walk in the studio. She says, "Here's what we're talking about today." I said, okay.
And then he scrambles, because he doesn't know what we're doing. We'll be a little more organized than that, but I'm still going to keep
Really?
it from him. Don't tell him.
I won't
Anyway.
tell anything. Just keep our board up in the loop on what you need for the show.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell these guys, not him. But anyway, we call it Soul Chat because what I found early on when I was developing it, and I actually heard, I actually got the nudge. You should go on the radio because it's in my background. I believe everybody's life is a menu for how they got right here, right now. And so I said, okay, I like the radio. I haven't been on there for a while, and it just things magically kind of opened up, and I ended up developing the show, and I started having guest hosts all the time, different ones with new things, because my thought was we're going to talk about anything, any kind of spirituality, that works in a positive way. None of this dark negative stuff. And what I discovered is what I really liked is having people that I could make a real connection with that were doing what we call doing their own work, that are willing to work from the inside out to heal. Because I can't do anything for you if I haven't worked on it myself,
Sure.
especially in this work. So it ended up being conversations that feed your soul. And I have there's about half a dozen of us now that kind of rotate on and off. Wayne's on it a lot because we discovered that when he and I are on the show, there's this something that happens that people keep telling us, well, you guys are really funny, and we learn at the same time.
There's two things that people, when they listen to the radio, expect. One is to be entertained. Two is they want to learn something. The best shows give
There
you
you go.
both.
There's the one that's going to teach you something. I'll teach you a little bit. I'm going to keep you entertained. I'll teach you a little bit, but
Yeah. And it's funny how it fell together. I mean, it's
Some of it just
randomness.
happens, sure.
Sometimes the randomness of things crossing paths is the way to go.
We could speak volumes about that. 'Cause, we've created that within our own show
Yeah.
because I'm the comic relief and Aaron's the one that keeps the ship rolling.
Isn't that funny? You and I are sitting on this side, and those two are sitting on that side.
Yeah.
we're comic relief.
We're comic
Right,
relief.
right.
That's right.
All of a
That's
sudden, I
right.
feel like Billy Crystal all of a sudden. I don't know why. But
So,
anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
Well, so like the first one, and I have another sponsor. The two sponsors, Wayne and Matt, are going to come on, and we're going to talk about these guys are helping me put this thing on, and it's powerful. We've got a lot of people. We got people listening all over the place, and that we didn't know, and it's just one of those things. You just put it out there and wait to see what strikes people. So one of the first things we're going to talk about, I haven't figured out the rest of it, but Matt's going to bring in spirituality and creativity in business. How does that work?
Sure.
It's not just the numbers game. It's what's the soul of this thing, because a business is really an entity just like we are.
Correct.
It's
Has its own
lifeblood.
heartbeat. Has its own heartbeat.
Has its own heartbeat, and it's got to keep going.
Sometimes you need the defibrillator.
That's right. Sometimes you just pull the plug out and go plug it back in
That's
again.
right. Reboot.
And we have to follow them.
Well, listen.
So we've talked about everything from intuition. How do you do your intuition? We did last week. We did a lot about change. And we'll talk about astrology. We'll talk about, but understand it's all in how do you learn from it. I'm not a
Right.
big one in feeling that there's a lot of victimness in the world. There are victims,
Sure,
children,
sure.
women, people that can't
Fend for themselves.
fan for themselves. They tend to be victims, okay? But if you listen to somebody who's lived through an experience of being a victim, and I'm one of them, my very first marriage was physically abusive.
Okay.
It took me a number of years, but I understood that because of that experience, I actually started to understand who I was. I actually started valuing my worth, which I didn't have in a way that
Sure,
I did before.
sure.
It's not that I was abused at home. I had just a Scandinavian conservative upbringing with a lot of music in it. So
Right,
what did
right.
I know about the world,
Right.
So I learned. And it's helping people make that connection.
The show is Soul Chat Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. Same phone number to call in, 702-483-4444. Be sure to call in.
When I first heard the name of the show, I said to myself, "Wow, we're going to listen to some R&B.
Oh, I could do that too.
Hip hop, and
We could do that.
We're going to get really cool soul, man."
They'd be on Fridays if they were a music show.
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
Wait, we're still cool.
They're
Just
still
so you
cool.
know,
Well,
yeah.
that's
We're
what's up.
pretty
Well,
cool.
Wayne's cool. I'm not sure what's going on
We'll
there.
find out.
All right.
We'll find out.
On the other side of the break, it's time for the really important questions. These
yeah.
questions we've been throwing at you, they're nothing in comparison
man.
to the ones
It's
I
yours.
got coming for
It's
you
on you.
next.
Now we're getting down and dirty.
That's right.
We're getting down.
You're listening to Stars of
And dirty.
VNR right here with Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, Lawrence, JPEG on the camera. Laini and Wayne here in studio for their new show. Don't go anywhere. We're coming around the clubhouse turn right after this. All right, welcome back. What show are we on? Stars of VANR. Hey, before I forget, like I almost forgot about the name of the show, next week on Stars, tentatively scheduled, Alan Childs from the Psychedelic Circus show chairs every Thursday night at 11 p.m. will be in the hot seat.
Wow.
Hey, I saw he got his new drums. Did he do anything with the old drums yet? Not yet, but that's still on task, right? Alan Childs is kind enough to donate his old drum set from, he plays drums in, I always forget which.
Yeah, I don't remember where.
Rock
Rock of Ages, yeah.
And his old drum set, he's donating to a family that we sort of adopted out in Arizona. The mom got sick, and it was a single mom, the whole thing, and we're sending the old drum set. He's donating them to the
very
boys,
cool.
to her
Very
boys.
cool.
So,
Oh, how nice.
so we're excited about that. So anyway, Alan Childs from Psychedelic Circus will be here on Stars of VANR next week. All right, here we go. Now, all the questions we've been asking you so far for the last 45 minutes, they're nothing.
Uh-oh.
They're nothing. They're softballs. They're wiffle balls. Now I'm going to throw the cannonballs at you. These are the questions.
You got your seatbelts ready?
These are the questions where our audience really gets to know behind the scenes about you guys. All right? No have we prepped any of these questions?
None.
No,
I even asked.
I'm good. Well, if you're an intuitive, you would know what the questions are.
I kind of have a feeling, but go ahead. I'm not letting him know because he's going to freak.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, sorry, the studio door's locked. So I'm going to ask the question. You guys fire your answers off so I don't go back and forth. So I'm going to start with Wayne, since you probably figured out what my first question is going to be. Who's your favorite actor of all time?
Tom Hanks.
Who's yours?
I was going to say Tom Hanks.
That's good.
That's crazy. Isn't
You're
it?
allowed.
It is. I'm in your head again.
All right, who's your favorite actress?
Oh, gosh. There's a bunch of Meryl Streep.
Meg Ryan.
She's
haven't
young.
heard, we haven't heard that one in a long
The
time.
older Meg, the younger Meg Ryan.
Yes,
Yeah.
So when Harry met Sally.
Harry
Oh my
met
God,
Sally.
it's crazy.
Oh man,
Sleepless
we get a
in
lot of
Seattle.
Meryl
Seattle.
Streep. We get a lot of Meryl Streep.
Well, she's so versatile. Jeez, the woman
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
She can act.
she can act.
What's your favorite all-time movie that you have to drop everything, knowing that it's either on television or
You're
go
not
see?
going to believe this one.
Try me.
Brewster's Million.
It was just on over
Richard
the
Pryor.
weekend.
It's been on all weekend.
I have it on DVR. I still play it. DVD.
I don't think I've ever seen
on,
it.
It's a
VCR.
cute movie.
It's
with,
great.
He comes
gets
into an
$1 million,
inheritance, yeah.
and he's got to get rid of that $1 million. Have nothing. at
30
the end of
million.
30 million.
30 million in
30
30
At the
days.
end of the day, 30 days, he's got to be gone, and he keeps getting more money.
And if he
keeps ready to-
does, he gets 300 million.
Right. From an old
but he can't
uncle,
tell
so-
nobody.
Right.
And you know what I love about that? John Candy, his best friend, stayed with him.
Absolutely.
Held money for him.
Absolutely.
Felt him bad for.
Then that
That's
shyster
about
held
a
out that
best
$20,000
friend.
at the end.
Yeah,
man,
but
that rat
that's
bastard.
all. Like Goosebumps, all about best friends. You know, have that one friend. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It's funny you mention because it was just on. What's yours?
Depends what time of year. I just recently watched Pride and Prejudice, the last one.
Okay.
It's the Jane Austen thing.
Okay.
At Christmas time, it's a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay.
I love the rat. I like light the lamp, not the rat. You know?
You know where we get along. Huh?
That's it.
How's
That's
the
good.
rat?
That's good. That's good. What's your favorite genre of music? Not to perform, but just to listen to or whatever.
70s and 80s rock.
Who's your favorite band from that era?
Heart.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not big into music.
Really?
I take it all.
Oh, you are
love
too.
it
You
all.
just told me.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
I can
Ask
give
him
it-
who his favorite country artist is.
Okay.
Who is it?
You just told me, you stupid.
I don't remember any of them.
You're cheating hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, Hank Williams was
Hank
my
Williams.
all. I was raised in my family with old country,
Okay.
so I never got to hear pop rock or any of that. You know, as I grew older, and you know, the Rolling Stones and all that wasn't a big deal.
Right.
It was
right.
all old country.
Okay.
So,
Classic
Nice.
country.
That's
yeah,
good.
I'm very
Interesting.
into
Good
classic
stuff.
country.
Cool. What would be your all-time favorite car you wish you had parked in your driveway right now?
67 red Mustang convertible. Shelby.
Shelby.
Yeah, just like a Jeep of any form. I just like that big Jeep.
You're a Jeep guy?
Raise it up,
Yeah.
make it look good.
There you go. All right. Very cool. If you weren't doing what you're doing today, what profession would you like to try it or would like to try at some point?
Man, I'm still trying to figure this one out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
How to survive this one would be
That's
right on
a
the top.
rough one, you know. But yeah, I think I'd be an entertainer of some sort.
Okay.
I would love to be an entertainer.
Okay. You know, being a bartender, which you've done,
That
is
was
sort
a
of like
blast.
being an
You
entertainer.
know, I did it for free and made $300-400
Yeah,
a weekend just
absolutely.
on tips, and it was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
I
that's sort of
enjoyed
like
that.
being an
It
entertainer.
is. How about you?
I don't know, because I'd probably go back to entertaining as long as I didn't have to sing crazy and sing in a bar. I love being on stage. I love connecting with people with my voice. So this is good. You know, at one point I wanted to be a nurse, but I didn't think I was smart enough to take the class.
You should sing a cappella on your show.
Yeah,
If a
I'm
tune
going
jumps in,
Man,
just
these are rough.
just do your thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's
very
beating us
good.
up here.
I told you.
Yeah, these are rough.
All right, here's the final.
Pitch Perfect 3, right here on VANR.
All right, here's the final 3 for you. They're the roughest. Favorite all-time curse word? You can say it. You are on the internet side.
Oh, it's shit.
Okay.
For me, it's just shit. When I do something wrong, it's shit.
All right. Easy
That's
shit.
the same. It's the same one, except a little higher voice. I like to use it sporadically in just the right place. You know,
You save it for its moment.
it's moment.
Not its movement, but its moment.
It's moment.
go.
That's
Gotcha.
right. That's right.
What's your least favorite word? Curse word.
The C word.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't.
I didn't
care
realize
about
that an acronym was there until somebody used it here on the show.
I didn't either. I just got that.
I'm still spelling it out.
yeah.
Same thing?
Same thing.
That seems to be the common thread there. Now, before I ask the final question that I usually ask,
Right.
do you have any you want to
No,
chime in with?
you're doing really well. I'm
'Cause
really,
usually you come up with one or two to sprinkle
yeah,
in there.
but I was going to ask them what's their favorite ghost.
Oh boy, that's a whole new
Favorite
world.
ghost, Patrick Swayze when he was dead in
Oh, in
Ghost.
Ghost,
That was
yeah.
my favorite ghost. Those shoulders, I can. Yeah.
All right, here you go. Here's the
Nobody
60
puts baby in the corner.
He wasn't dead in that movie.
No.
All right, here's the $68,000 question. When the day comes and whatever entity you believe to be waiting for you at the pearly gates when upon you enter, what is it that you hope that individual entity says to you upon entering?
Welcome. You've done your job.
Okay.
Nice job.
Yeah.
A lot of common threads in a lot of these answers, which is pretty cool. Everybody wants to feel welcomed when they go to the pearly.
Not
I
only
sold
that-
timeshare. I'm going to hell. I can't change my course.
Not
I'm
only
stuck.
that, but they want to hear that what they've done
In life is good.
was an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
We strive to be on our path. We strive to be on what we're supposed to be here on Earth for.
Right.
And it's not for me to sell potato chips.
Right,
But it got
exactly.
me to this point to where I can.
They say that everything we've done to this point is a learning experience, both good or
It's-
bad, and
it's-
has helped us get to where we are today.
It's
I
why
know.
we're
I know
here.
what I would tell them. Would
What's
you
that?
move the guards away so I can
Can
get
you get
in?
in?
Yeah. Can I
Get out
bring
of
my
my way.
dog? Have you seen my 3 dogs that I haven't seen in a long time? You know.
How much time we have left on the board there? 105. You can play the background music just to let me know.
Yeah.
All right. The show, Soul Chat, Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. with Laini. How many times are you going to be on the show, Wayne? You're going to be regular?
She'll be bringing me in and out all the time.
All
whenever
right.
she
So
feels
will
like
there
it.
be some other guest hosts
Oh yeah,
periodically?
we have
Some ghosts.
some ghosts. Yeah, we bring in a couple of ghosts.
So Wayne will be the most permanent Ed McMahon-like individual,
There
but
you
there'll
go.
be some
Right.
fillers every once in a while.
and when I'm out of town,
Okay.
yeah,
There
he'll
you
be
go.
able to step
He'll be
in. so I
reining
can-
in.
He'll be
He's
reining
excited
in.
about that.
And I
See.
get nervous, so it'll be up to you to
We'll
keep
be
him.
here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
not him. It'll be up to you. to
That's
keep him in
fine.
check.
Not a problem. I'll get in
Okay.
here. We'll get in here with him and control
Yeah,
him.
we've got. I'm really excited. We've got Aaron Nalani with Earth Angels.
I got 30 seconds, so be
Okay.
quick. Go ahead.
It's all about helping kids that are really sensitive, really intuitive, because they weren't there when we were growing up.
April.
You know?
Stars of
April.
VANR next week with Alan Childs, Vegas Unwrapped this Thursday. Lainey's going to be back on Thursday
will.
at Vegas Unwrapped.
I
Have a
will.
great week. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.